What's up guys, TJ89 here, back with a special review of a pair of Vans Rowleys that have finally released in store and I think have finally sold out. But we're talking about the 25th anniversary of the Rowley XLTs. In Malaysia they have dropped the pack, which is the XLTs in the navy gums, and also the original, now they call it the skate Rowleys or the Rowley Pros, in the navy and light blue colorway with the white vulcanized sole. But the story about this is I've asked the people in the store attendants in New Central, Pavilion, Mid Valley, and except for the store that I went to, and I asked, when is the XLT 25 dropping? When is the XLT 25 dropping? And they say that they don't know. They just asked me to have a look out on the website. So I finally looked around the website in, I want to say, end of December 2024 leading over to January 2025. They started selling out certain sizes such as the US 9, US 8s, and US 10s, and I lost hope for these to buy these in store. And I went to Wanu Tama with my brother, God bless her soul. Went to the Vans store over at the New Wing in Wanu Tama and saw these and asked for my size, and they had it, and I got it on top of a discount too. So the retail price for this in stores is $519. It's the same price on the Vans Malaysia website. There was a CNY or Chinese New Year sale going on, so if you paid using your one card, you get cash back. And because of the CNY sale that is Vans is doing, I got 55 ringgit off. So this ultimately came to about 469. So very happy to get it at this price. Now let's talk about the packaging first. So the packaging is a different style box. It's not a Skate Pro box, which is what these boxes basically, they're not the white checkerboard boxes with the old school print. Instead you get a Vans all over box, but you have like signature Rowley branding, which is like this writing right here, Rowley, and you will see that in the shoe later. This is a theme that they're trying to carry over. This is the Rowley script or something like that. A Vans logo in chrome just right there. A Vans Skate Pro logo in chrome just right there. On the back you have the same thing as you did at the front, Rowley since 1999. At the bottom you have the sizing conversion chart, so to speak, and that is a size tag. So the colorway is 25th Navy Gum, US 9.5, which you will not be able to get on the website. Happy to get this in store, obviously. And let's go over the shoe. That's what it looks like. So the this colorway obviously looks pretty much similar to a colorway that basically kick-started the resurgence of the XLT, which is the dime colorway. And a YouTube user by the name of Kicks for Tricks had multiple pairs of the dimes, and I think he was probably the first person to do the review of this specific colorway on YouTube. So I was paying attention to his reviews, and I noticed certain things because I've obviously not had the chance to own the dimes because it never reached Malaysia, I believe. If you were to buy them, it would have to be from a reseller website, which obviously would inflate the price to ridiculous bodohnya harga basically. But I was watching Kicks for Tricks' video, and he made a comparison between these and the dime ones, and there's a lot of changes. So obviously the first one is the Rowley logo, which is in white, compared to the dime one, which is in navy. And also this mesh material on top of that side stripe, on the stripe, and leading over to the back, which is mesh instead of like a full suede or synthetic suede bottom which carries over the top. And that is true to the original, and that is what I was expecting to see on the dimes. But when I first saw the dimes, then I was like, oh okay, these are nice, but I'm glad that they dropped these instead. So whoever didn't manage to own the dimes will actually get to own an OG pair of the navy gums, and this is one of the launch colorways of the XLTs. So Rowley is not so much into the whole puffy skate shoe thing. Obviously, he had to jump on that wave to kind of keep the business, his pro shoe rollouts going. So the XL2, XL3s, and then it was probably the Rowley Shambles or the Rowley Squares, I believe, was probably the only other cup sole style Vans that he ever got. And he to this day only skates the Rowley Pros, or the skate Rowleys nowadays, and it's just a testament to how this wasn't really much of his style. But he has worn the shoe, and lots of Vans riders and other pro riders out there have worn the shoes, most notably Bastian Salabanzi, who just recently got on that guy. Bastian Salabanzi had the XLT Elite model specifically made for him because he loved skating the XLT so much, but he kind of wanted like a signature XLT line. So I have that shoe somewhere, but there wasn't much of a difference when you're comparing this to that shoe, except for that shoe specifically in its OG run only used suede. So this shoe is actually a vegan shoe. So these are all synthetic nubucks on the toe cap, the synthetic nubuck on the synthetic suede on the toe, synthetic suede there, synthetic nubuck there. Everything is synthetic basically. So what else did I want to talk about for the XLTs aside from the OG runs? But the vegan materials are obviously there, but it's interesting to note that Rowley's Vans nowadays are not purely vegan. I don't want to talk about his recent turn to hunting animals, but they're all suede shoes now. They're not vegan, but they used to be. But let's talk about the XLT and why it is what it is. Well, basically the XLT stands for extra light or extra lightweight or something like that. But when you do pick up the shoe, I actually got the same feeling that I got when I tried on Boboi's shoe, who was a good friend of mine from Ramaputra School, and he rocked this shoe until it was like had holes everywhere. But this shoe just was so durable for him. He skated in this shoe, he played basketball in this shoe, he walked everywhere in the white gray colorway. And aside from that, watching kids, the first time I ever bought a skateboard at Mid Valley, Radioactive at Mid Valley, and watching Angmo kids wearing different colorways of this shoe to the store, and I was like, oh, what's that big puffy Van shoe? And this was the big puffy Van shoe for me before I ever got a hold of copies of Transworld, and I went to other skate shops and looked at other skateboarders and what they had on their feet. But this to me was the puffy Van shoe. So the XLT, obviously extra lightweight because of its die cut foam midsole, which is a style that lots of other brands have tried to copy, like DVS's Milan shoe has copied this. Lakai's shoe has sort of copied this style of an outsole in the I want to say mid 2000s, but this was Rowley's initial design in the early 2000s as well. So synthetic everywhere on that toe. You have reflective strips on the toe just right there. You can tell that that's over there, and also on the heel as well. You have a reflective hit of the XLT logo on the heel. You've got a synthetic white side stripe over there on the middle of the shoe. You have the Pro logo with the checkerboard behind, nothing special in terms of branding. The mesh at the collar, which I told you just now, the same sort of synthetic suede, synthetic nubuck on the heel, and more or less the same you get on this side, you get on this side. You have two laces that come with the shoe. The one which is currently stock lace on the shoe is a navy one, and you also get a white one, which is nice to have because this shoe is not known for great lace protection, despite those lace protectors being there. You have those lace protectors that I told you earlier, but they don't really do much when you're skating there. You're gonna be blowing through your lace holes anyways on that the front three laces of the holes, of the lace holes. And also at the top you have an extra lacing option at the top. On the tongue you have a mesh tongue which is going all over behind these navy laces, and you have the Rowley logo just over on the top, just right there. And on the inside you have a navy sock liner and a navy back tongue with the I don't want to call this the Pro logo, but this is like an old school Vans insole. I wish this was polyurethane because that would have just made everything so much better. But you have this standard thin foam midsole, because obviously all of the cushioning will be coming from this EVA die cut midsole. But you have like Rowley branding on the heel of the insole, which is done up in red, and just is basically, they might have, I think what they should have done was just indicate that this is a 25th anniversary style insole, because you're not going to see the changes outside, might as well see the changes inside. And this is not how the original XLT insoles used to come with, so they might as well just have done something different with this. For the outsole, you have a rubber, a 3/4 cup sole construction, so you have a rubber cup sole in the front, and this is stitched on in the front, which is nice. And the heel, and towards the middle of the shoe to the heel, you have the die cut EVA midsole. You have the Rowley heel cup going all the way around, which just helps with stability of the shoe, keeping you on the footbed. Yeah, and you have the cup sole just cupping up over the back just to kind of contain everything together. On the bottom, you have Vans' signature waffle tread with the Vans skateboard logo over there in the middle. And this is actually quite underwhelming for me when I see this now, 20 years, 30 years later, because I always thought that these treads were a bit deeper, but I've noticed that although they might use the super stick rubber, but this is not as deep and girthy, so this might wear out a little bit faster over time. And that's basically a shoe. Let's talk about some of the people that have actually skated the Vans XLTs on YouTube. And there was a guy that did like a 3-month test of this shoe, and I believe his reviews or findings were as follows. This toe cap or this synthetic suede does not run all the way to the bottom, so this is basically just stitched here, and you have a piece of the conjoining remainder, and that will just lead to a quick blowout. This part of the toe is also not like a whole one piece, so basically you don't get 3 pieces of toe cap, you have just like one conjoined toe cap basically, which is kind of ass, because I believe that when you have a toe cap layer such as this, it should be covering the actual underlying material. And because this is a Skate Pro colorway, I believe that having your cap under this would have benefited everyone as well. I'm not sure exactly if they did that with this pair, but the guy that skated his Rowley LX6, which is this navy, sorry, not navy, but like this white bone colorway, just destroyed his pair in 3 months, which is actually a good amount of time for this shoe to actually stand out. But I feel that they should have done something better to just, you know, just kind of pro-tro it. But this is the 25th anniversary of the Rowley. Very glad to have this in my collection, and hope to keep this in the vault until time comes for me to wear it. That's basically it, guys. Vans Rowley XLT 25th anniversary. TJ got Kick 9. I'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.